The new third kit has been leaked, another big name linked to Newcastle United, but also a delay on the new stadium. Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. There is loads to get into on this boiling hot day. It's boiling in my little office here. I'm sweating. So I'm going to get through this video as quick as possible, but give you as much information as possible as well. So make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I said big name before. I suppose he is a big name, but how good is he these days? We're going to get into all that. We're going to get into all the juicy transfer stuff and the stadium stuff and something else and plenty to do. So let's get going. Third kit. Now, we did the away kit the other day, the green one. That one's being leaked there now, and here comes the retro remake of the third one. However, the notable difference being there is no sash this time. The old stripes down there, it looks like they have not included it in the remake, in the new twist on the old vintage 97, was it 98? Away kit from back in the day. And obviously back then it was better. We had the brown heel there, the circle there. Although, you know, it is, that kit in itself, split opinion for me and for the fan base, I guess. Let us know in the comments. Did you like that one? Do you like this one? Let me know in the chat. But for me, the original one, I thought was ugly. I thought it was awful. Now, sometimes when I see it, I think, oh, that's pretty cool, like retro look. But at the time of, like, the players wearing it, the images I've seen there, when I've seen it, I'm just like, nah, what on earth was going on there? Orange, blue, the green, oh, nasty. Nasty cheese pasty. But this one, I quite like this pasty. I like this third kit. Although, it could have been better. I find it rather underwhelming. I just thought there'd be a bit more imagination to it. Now, I'm looking at it there. You'll have it on your screen. I've only just seen it in the last hour or so. And bearing in mind, this is just a leak. It's potential. It's not confirmed. It looks to be bang on. It's got the Noon on there and everything. It's got little Adidas bits, the Adidas in the background on the collar underneath it, printed the size, the washing instructions, all that sort of stuff. So it looks legit. I think it will be. We knew the Newcastle badge was going to be in the shield like it was in the 90s version as well. And we have finally got our trefoil logo. We are now officially an elite club by Adidas. We weren't good enough last year, but we have been given that elite status this time round. And what I will say is, on the elite thing, last year, everyone who had a third kit, it was unbelievable. Juventus, Bayern Munich, even, you know, your Man U's, your Arsenals. I thought the third kits were very, very nice. More so the abroad teams. But with Newcastle's here, I just think, oh, it's a good idea. It was good in principle, but it hasn't quite came to life the way I'd like it to. It's not bang on. I mean, it's nice, it's good. I really want to see it, as I keep saying, in person and, you know, on the players when it's an official launch. This one's an extra large on a hanger, slanted down, looks baggy, looks a bit meh. It's not a good advert for it, is it? And that's why clubs hate leaks as well, because it doesn't exactly get, you know, a lot of great credibility and a lot of fans excited, because it's mixed online. We put out on our social media pages, and a lot of people, like the first few comments were like, oh, nah, hate it, ugly, it's going to save me a lot of money. And then now I've just looked back after an hour of it being up, and a lot more people saying, oh, beauty, instant classic. So it definitely is down the middle divided, 50-50 on hate or love it. And maybe that's the case with this top. It was definitely the case with the one in the 90s. Having the big bloody stripes down the side there and the sponsor over here, not in the middle. It was split. It did divide people. But then you look back and you think, oh, hey, guy, 90s there. 90s vibes. Good retro, that. You know what I mean? Brilliant. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all that. But now you look at this one, and I do like it. You know, I like how the seller blends in nicely there with the orange trefoil logo. It looks tiny, that Adidas badge, doesn't it? Maybe that's part of the... Is it the legit one? Is it a finished article? Obviously, is this the player's version or the replica version? Because the collar, I don't like how low that collar drops, but is it just the way it's situated on the hanger? Is it just droopy? Is it too much of a big shirt? These are the things you can't really judge, but at the minute, firstly looking at it, looks like there's obviously stripes in the background. Looks like kind of a pinstripe pattern. It's got the orange and the blue on the sleeves and on the collar. It's got the orange 3 stripes, the orange trefoil logo, the orange seller, and an orange shield around the Newcastle badge. I do like the shield around the badge, to be fair. That does give it a good vintage retro look to it. It gives it a bit of class, and I'm a fan of that. And now I am a huge fan of this season's third kit. The season just finished there with the NFC logo from the 80s. I do like that. I like the way, you know, we incorporated a retro logo on a kit. You know, Arsenal, Man U, they all do it. It's good that we did it. We haven't, obviously, we chose to do it this year. It'll be interesting to see if there's one on the back, on the top of the collar. Obviously, on this one, there is a magpie. On the current home one, it's just how we the lads. We don't know about the green one. We haven't seen the back of it. And on this one, we haven't seen the back either. But first impressions of that new shirt, the third kit leak, I like it. I don't love it. It could be better. It's potentially underwhelming. But I do like it. I will probably buy it. Obviously, we'll be there in kit launch day as well to show you it. The green one, no, not a fan, won't be buying that one. This one though, probably, and I do like it, and I will like it more, I'm sure, when I see it on a player and I see it in person. I'm sure it'll look better on kit launch day. There's rumours of Asprilla, Sam Fender, big names being involved in this kit launch here, so we'll wait and see when that comes out. This one's set to come out end of July, start of August. So let us know what you are thinking so far of that leaked third kit. Alrighty then, let's move on to transfer rumours, and there is a ridiculous one today. It's the Jack Grealish type one. This time it's Marcus Rashford. This time it's another washed up England player. And is that harsh? Maybe. But Rashford, you know, he's a bit like Grealish. He's enjoying the night out too much, enjoying the lifestyle too much, blowing the money a bit too much. And speaking of money, the bloke's on £375,000 a week. There is absolutely no chance we're giving him anywhere near that. No one will. But according to loads of reports, Newcastle are one of the teams that are interested in signing the English striker. I mean, we'll call him English striker. When was the last time he bloody got in the England team on a regular basis? But he wants to, and like Grealish, he wants to get in the World Cup squad next year, so he wants to move. But Man U will want a permanent deal. The value at about 40-45 million. However, Newcastle, like many other clubs, only want him on loan, just so Man U can play a big chunk of his wages. To be fair to Rashford, he did a good enough job at Aston Villa on loan the last few months of the season there. They were paying £300,000 of his wages. Manchester United were paying 300 grand. Villa, just 75 grand. So I suppose if he offered me Rashford on 75 grand a week, I'd maybe take a punt on him. I'm sure Eddie Howe could get him back to his best, but saying that he's not an Eddie Howe type player doesn't really suit our style of play. It doesn't fit the profile of the type of player or the formation that we would go for. Again, he's predominantly off the left. We've got Gordon and Barnes there. I could reiterate the same things I said about Jack Grealish for those reasons why I couldn't see him saying. Rashford has played down the middle to some success in the past for Man U and England, but I just feel like Rashford, his career is dwindling out. He definitely needs a new start. He definitely needs a fresh challenge, a new scenery, you know, somewhere else, somewhere different, a new training. He's been at Man United forever, hasn't he? So, new training ground, new city, that would do him wonders. I think he could come to Newcastle and do a good job. I'm just not hugely in favour of the move. I think there's better people out there, more priority positions out there, and I just can't see it happening unless, like I said, that wage structure could be agreed where Man U pay a heavy portion of it. But I think Rashford will probably go abroad, you know, or you could see him at a West Ham or a Spurs, maybe even Villa again if they want to take him back. Rashford Newcastle, I'm not too sure on that one. Like I can't see it. I'm not really keen on getting it. And I just think it's a link that's been thrown out there by the media, by the agents. You could see him because I said big name earlier. He's the big name because he was a big name. Remember a few years ago, he was class. He broke on the scene. He was brilliant. You know, for England, for Man U, Champions League. Remember PSG away for Man United. He was sensational. And then he kind of went off the boil. But Man United have been on a downhill slope for a good few years now. So you can't really blame him. I mean, he scored against us in the Carabao Cup final, didn't he? He is a big game player. He is a big name, well known all around the world, so could that help us? You know, we know we're trying to reach our global audience, we're trying to sell shirts, people would probably buy them with Rashford on the back, especially abroad in Asia and America and stuff. So I could see it from a commercial standpoint, and even a quality player standpoint. He is a good player, but there's just too many little things in the background now, like, is his attitude right, his dedication right, his motivation. I just think there's a bit too much going on. You don't want it to turn into the Rashford show, which it has at Man U before, the fallouts, the late flights to Dublin to party, and all this sort of carry on. We never need that sort of drama around the Toon. We really don't. We've got enough going on with bloody sporting directors leaving every 2 seconds. We didn't need a player coming in like Marcus Rashford to tear up the newspapers as well. So I would recommend moving on from that one. Moving on we shall, but it's the same name that's been linked the last few weeks. It is that man, Joao Pedro. Now, I've had Liverpool fans messaging me today, AGT Cop TV, see you're getting Pedro, you're preparing for the Isak seal, you're signing Pedro, then Isak's going to leave. Joao Pedro is apparently advancing, according to the iPaper. Mark Douglas is saying that one is still ongoing and still confident of a deal being struck between the two clubs. The Seagulls obviously holding out for around 60 million quid, where the Magpies are trying to get it down to around 50 million pounds. So you could see a compromise being reached there. You could see Joao Pedro coming to the Toon. You know, Eddie Howe's a big fan. Pedro wants to move. Yesterday we're seeing Chelsea are very much interested in the Brazilian now as well. So if they come in, we know their wages are going to stump ours. We'll be knackered like we have been in the past with last year just tossing on a Rabiot is the first example that come to mind. This season, Liam Delap. So, hopefully not. He also said in that same article that transfers are going to ramp up at Newcastle in the next week. Well, I really hope so, because we've stalled at the minute. You know what I mean? Get up the ramp, we can't even get off the driveway. We can't even turn out at the street. We're stuck in the cul-de-sac. We're stalling in the cul-de-sac. That sounded silly from me, because I've been saying patience. I've been deploying patience. I'm still am. I just thought it sounded good. Anyways. patience. I've always said end of June, start of July, that's when things will start moving, and that'll be the case with Pedro and many others. That PSR deadline, when our windfall drops with the cash from the 3-year cycle, will start moving end of June, start of July. Joao Pedro could be one of the first ones through the door, according to this article. According to many others, we're still in talks with Brighton over signing the Brazilian forward. And in terms of the Liverpool links, Alex trying to wind us up on Isak and that, I told him, listen, Isak will go if you pay big bucks. If you're going to pay 150 million, then he'll go. But until then, I don't want to hear it. You know, you're going to have to pay silly money. 150 on the table, everyone will probably be like, oh, bloody hell, fair enough. Isak will be like, yep, I'll go play the Champions. Newcastle will be like, yep, we'll take that 150 million and we'll then have 300 million to spend on building the Champions League squad. There you go. That could be the deal, but I can't still see it. And to be fair, Alex, he said he thinks they've got like a 10% chance Liverpool of signing Isak. So we'll wait and see on that one. I mean, I think Isak will stay. Like I said, unless it's mad money. He's trying to offer me bloody Kwanzaa and other players as part of the deal. Chiesa is having a bloody laugh. Didn't want them players, want to improve. The only kind of positive stint on Isak leaving for £150 million is what I just mentioned there, where you would have north of 300 million quid to spend on the squad and then bring in 4 or 5 world-class, top-class players to help bolster our position in the Champions League and going forward, competing across all fronts, to be fair. Like, if you spent that 300 million wisely, then you could sort it out. Is Joao Pedro his Isak replacement? Is it his backup? Let us know what your thoughts are below. But in that article, Douglas does state, you know, there is no panic at St James's Park. I definitely see it in the YouTube comments and across the whole social media fan base for Newcastle United. Fans are panicking, fans are worried, fans are stressed about why we aren't signing anyone yet. Can we move things up? Can we get a bit of quickness on the go, get a pace, and we're signing some players? But yeah, there's no panic, there's none of that behind the scenes. Club insiders are content, happy with how things are going, and are in full belief that there's still loads of time left in this window to get the signings to the door that we need. In that article, like I said, he mentioned Trafford as well, Joao Pedro, so on James Trafford. Similar to Brighton, they're in negotiations, they're talking with the club. Burnley are trying to get 40 million for him. Newcastle are trying to knock about 10 million off that, trying to get him for 30 million. So we'll see how that plays out. Both of those deals you could see happening though, couldn't you? You know, we've tracked them, wanted them for many years. We're just trying to get the valuation down by 5 to 10 million. Can we sort that out in installments? Can we sort that out in bonuses? That sort of thing? Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Unless that team is swooshing for them like it's been rumoured. Chelsea and Man U and all that. So let's roll out. Be plenty of twists and turns in this one. But I tell you what, Newcastle actually have made a signing. Or more so, a contract extension on a current signing. The Stack St James's Park has signed a new deal at the club. Get in, there's our first major move of the window. 5-year deal for Mr. Stack. Don't know where he can play, but he's signed anyways. The Stack St James's Park, they've agreed a 5-year extension until 2031, so they will be staying put outside the Toon. Obviously, it's been a huge success, the venue. It's always absolutely round whenever you go in. Obviously, it is on a match day, but all the time, no matter when you can, really, Tuesday night, whenever, it's always chocker. Great food vendors in there, all that sort of stuff. So what a spot it's in as well. The stadium in front of it, great. Always makes sense there to keep that going, and that should be helping us massively with FFP. You know what I mean? Bringing in lots of revenue there counts towards the club, so we should be doing well business-wise with the Stack and all the paint and food that is being bought there. And that will be happening for at least another 5 years. And now everyone's saying, oh, well, that coincides with the new stadium. That's when the stadium's meant to be happening, you know. The stadium could be coming in 5-6 years' time, so we won't need the Stack then. It'll be a bit too far back, and it'll be on that land when Newcastle will be pushing it in the Leazers Park. And on the stadium, in the iPapers article again, they are mentioning that Newcastle United have delayed the announcement of a new stadium. We did a video the other day where it was meant to be imminent, wasn't it? You know, we hearing, oh, it's imminent, oh, it's coming in this month. And they've mentioned that in the article. He said everyone was expecting an announcement this month. All the reporters, all the journalists, everyone in the local media have been told that it was coming this month, in June, an announcement on the new stadium. However, we have delayed it once more. They are waiting for a full plan. They are going to give us a full presentation, a detailed design of what's coming, and that's why it's apparently been delayed, and probably some issues with the council and everything else as well, and all the hippies and that. Again, just joking with the hippie stuff. And we've got loads to work out there. So, there is a delay in that. It could even be after the transfer window now, so we could be waiting until September to hear about this new 70,000 capacity stadium in Leazers Park. So that one's been delayed, but when that does come in, it will make Newcastle United a £1 billion club. We will be rated and valued at over £1 billion. This article here saying we will join the elite bracket of the top 6. Your Tottenhams, your Arsenals, your Man U's, all them are valued over 1 billion. Newcastle are currently at about 800 odd million, which is decent considering we've more than doubled the 300 odd million more worth under Mike Ashley in just a few years since his departure and the Saudis have came in. So we are looking to get over that 1 billion line and come into that 1 billion club of the top 6 in the Premier League, and that'll be done when we get the new stadium. Even when it's announced, then you can start planning things, saying revenue's going to increase this way, that way. So yeah, we've joined the £1 billion club soon enough. The new stadium will be coming. God knows when, with this announcement being delayed, and it'll take 5, 6, 7 years to build it, and the start will still be there. So yeah, plenty still to be done. Right then, I am boiling. Get me out of this room, get me outside, get me in the bloody ice bath. Thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe to Magpie Channel TV, and enjoy yourself.